morning, everyone. Welcome back to Live from InfoComm 2021 here in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host with the most and the most humble host you'll ever meet, Bradford Ben. I'm here talking with some great exhibitors and attendees. So I wanted to talk a little bit with Mark Delguidice from Atlantis Partners.
Yes.
Almost got that wrong. Got the name right and then get the company name wrong. So welcome. How's the show going for you so far?
It's going good. I'm really glad we're back, and it's great to see a relatively decent turnout. And people who are here seem very excited to engage again and see each other and
I think it's
network and relax.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I realized today when I put on this suit coat and it still had my business cards from last InfoComm in 2019. I was like, yeah, it's been a while. It's nice to see people and get out.
It sure has. It's great.
So I know you're a staffing company and offers various services, and I can make up all sorts of stuff that will probably be wrong. So can you tell our viewers what exactly Atlantis Partners offers them and how you can make their life better?
Well, Atlantis Partners provides wholesale subcontracted labor, mainly to integrators, but we also support manufacturers and distributors and other related entities in the AV industry. Mostly we supply technicians. We also supply field engineers for commissioning and calibration of the systems. And we support our integrator partners in every kind of vertical, every kind of capacity, from government to house of worship to educational, corporate, and so forth.
It sounds funny, and I'm not trying to make fun of you, but being a small business owner now, I know if they have money, you'll support them.
Yeah. I started providing subcontracted labor in 1994, and it was basically I found a niche and I filled it. I stepped up and started providing technicians to help some integrators I knew. I'd worked for a couple of integrators as a project manager and a site supervisor for a few years, and realized I was good at training and teaching people the skills, and wiring up racks and doing all the related duties, and started teaching guys and gals and hired some and hired more, and I came on with Atlantis Partners last year during the pandemic. I worked for a couple of labor service companies, and 14 years ago I helped co-found the ITS Council, the Independent Technical Services Council. And what we are is the entity, the council within InfoComm structure that provides services to the industry. So we don't vendor products, we don't sell anything except our services. Most of us are companies like Atlantis, providing technicians, which is probably the largest need for services like that in the industry. But we also have people who do CAD drafting, even promotion and media services, graphics, and we're finding all kinds of content delivery, creation people. All sorts of people are coming up and joining us.
So if I'm understanding right, you have everything from designing the video display system to actually providing content. So for a digital signage solution for like a college or higher ed, you could do let's work with someone, they would design it, you can go all the way to fruition and commission it, and it's all one stop. Yeah,
and so the philosophy I had with the council folds into Frank Papianis, who's the founder of CEO of Atlantis Partners, into his concept of the reason that's called Atlantis Partners is that we partner with many other entities to create the results that are needed for the projects. And I think that's a pretty dynamic way to look at it. So, we can turn to CAD people, we can turn to programmers, design engineers, whoever we might need to help a particular integrator with a particular situation.
Now, I know you're based in New Jersey. Bill O'Donnell and I already made the jokes about where in New Jersey. We'll skip that for now.
Beautiful Fairfield.
Beautiful Fairfield, and there's a burger joint close by that was worth going to. But where's your coverage area? Is it the entire U.S.? Do you have partnerships overseas?
We don't do anything overseas. In fact, none of the companies in the council have ventured into exploring that type of an option. We've all started as very small companies. Atlantis has been around 20 years. Some of the other members of the council have been around for about 20 years as well. And so we cover the entire East Coast. We've got our largest workforce is on the East Coast, from Boston to Florida, pretty much everywhere in between. We just opened in Atlanta. I manage and direct the Western United States out of San Diego, California. And we have teams in Los Angeles, the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, Phoenix, and we're looking to expand into other areas of the Western United States as well, increase our coverage and our spread. And the way that Frank's grown the company is by responding to integrators coming to him and saying, look, we're going to have this series of projects in this region. Can you look at helping staff it for us? And so then we'll go in and find people and interview them, hire them, and train them.
Oh, sounds like a good solution. Yeah. Are you finding this is becoming more widespread thanks to the gig economy with Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and Fiverr and all those?
Absolutely. It's a growing trend. I predicted this when we started the council in 2009. That was part of my intent in bringing all these companies together as a group, that at the time we were relatively unknown. Every integrator I'd meet would say, well, how would I find you? I needed you on a project 2 months ago. Gosh, it would have been great if I'd have known you. And so we created the council with the help of many people, at InfoComm and AVIXA staff, to increase our visibility. If you're stronger united, you're larger together than you are apart. And in AV, no company's an island. So we came together to increase the visibility. We've put out directories listing all the different companies and the resources, and we're working on a new one right now, which apparently will be available in some digital form on our council webpage. AVIXA is in the process of redoing a lot of things and making the website more interactive, which would be certainly very helpful for us.
Yes.
And more importantly, really helpful for the integrators who are seeking help. And part of it is, the kind of the gig economy thing. In our case, all of our employees are full-time W-2 employees.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
yeah, they have full benefits and training resources. We encourage them very strongly to get their CTS, CTSI, and so forth, and many, many other certifications, Crestron and BIAMP and all the different essential certifications that one needs to do a project properly. But yeah, the gig economy has definitely increased people's acceptance of it. We're pretty well known to integrators in the sense of they know that companies like us are out there now, and I think that's in a great part due to our support from AVIXA and helping us get the word out about what we're providing. So it's growing. I've seen 5 or 6 new companies emerge in the last 6 months. And there's quite a few different business models. Some of them deploy freelancers. Some of them use a web portal type of a program. We don't really use freelancers that much. We find that our integrator partners prefer us to provide dedicated technicians who are our employees. It creates a certain loyalty standard that is very important to a large integrator with a worldwide reach. We're out there representing them in the field, so the capabilities and their behavior and the skills that we bring are very, very important to them. So it's been very interesting to see the transition into being accepted as a real sector of the industry, and we're collectively pretty proud of that. We're not the unknown guys behind the curtain anymore, and we all have very diverse workforces, and being small companies, we're nimble, we're able to evolve and grow the idea of inclusion and bring people in and train them and offer them careers. I've trained probably over 100 techs in my 30 years in AV, and I'll run into some of them here at the show. I run into them all over the country, and I would say 60% of the gals and guys that have worked for me over the years are still out there in the industry with vibrant and thriving careers, which is really exciting. And it's a gratifying thing to be able to give a young person a hand up into the industry. And we certainly need all the help we can get. The pandemic, I think, really damaged the workforce in so many ways. We're still reeling from it, and everyone's trying to figure it out. And a lot of the larger organizations cut staff or had staff leave and leave the industry even. So we have seen, which I anticipated this would be the case, we've seen a huge tsunami of requests and needs from integrators large and small all over the country. Ironically, out on the West Coast, I do a great deal of work for East Coast integrators. And a lot of the West Coast companies that I work with, we're providing labor for them in Manhattan and Washington, D.C. and Boston, because it's very cost effective to use a team that's boots on the ground as opposed to having to fly a crew in, put them in hotels, and per diem and everything else. Although we do travel all over the country. I've got guys on planes right now, people on job sites in Salt Lake City, St. Louis, all over the place, Chicago.
That is all over the place.
Yeah, keeps us busy. So I think we have about 130 technicians right now. We've hired about 20 technicians in the last couple of months. As we anticipated this growing need, because of the integrators being short-staffed and not being able to predict how business was going to come back and what the scale was going to be. And certainly, I don't think many people anticipated the equipment shortages that have, plagued the industry for the last few months. All those things combined, it's very convenient to turn to us for help. And so it's a great place to be. But we started hiring early on, before the wave really started, and started training people, and so have some of the other companies in the council. And we had our council reception last night. We had a pretty good crowd, and it was really great to hear from all my council brothers and sisters that they're all doing great and growing. Collectively, there's so much work out there. Collectively, we couldn't all do it if we put our heads together and were able to contract it all.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, and we're looking for members. If you're a member of InfoComm and Avixa, and you'd like to join up with a group of like-minded companies, we foster new companies. We encourage. We share ideas and methods, and encourage companies to raise the bar for their employees and get them trained and CTS certified. So it's been a very exciting effort.
No, it sounds like it's filling a niche and has given a lot of freedom and flexibility to companies to go after both larger projects and be able to scale up effectively, as well as the fact that you have a full-time staff. Mm-hmm. It's not just picking a freelancer and hoping they're available. It gives you that continuity.
Exactly.
And that branding and repeatable
exactly.
Performance.
Now, the companies that mainly work from a web portal kind of a thing, sort of like an AV Uber with freelancers. There's a lot of great freelancers out there too. There's various niches that we all fill. Some of that's based on price points, and different labor rates. But ultimately, we've all found ways to help support the industry.
So, to give you time to go back on the floor, as well as to see what's out there, because it is nice to catch up with everyone.
Yeah.
What is the best way for people to get in touch with you or Atlantis Partners or the ITS team?
Well, our website is atlantispartners.com.
Okay.
So that's pretty easy to recall.
I think I'll remember that.
And all of our contact information for all of our executives and account managers is there on the website. All my contact info is there as well, and anyone is welcome to reach out to me for any kind of information or questions about the council or about contracting us for services. We are just releasing an app that the technicians use on their phones where they report in, they do their job reports, they can retrieve all the drawings and different information that they need. And soon we'll have the app set up. It's called Trident.
Okay.
And we'll soon have it set up to where the integrators will have their own account on the app. And once we've established a relationship with them and done all the legal paperwork and everything to get them on board, they can just plug in and send me orders for technicians and as well as calls on the phone. So that's pretty exciting, and I actually have some really cool little thumb drives that we loaded the information and the link for the app. You go on there and you fill out a little bit of information, and you can download the app from Apple Store or Google Store. And also on there is capabilities documents and some of the articles that have been written about our company and things like that. So, and this is a growing trend in the industry. Some of the larger integrators have similar programs and network apps and stuff that they use to communicate with their clients and their technicians. And so we're getting on board with the new technology here.
No, I think it's a great thing. As someone who started his own small company, now I have a new resource to reach out and go, I'm overloaded. Let me call someone and know that I'm getting quality people, I think is a great solution, especially finding people who understand the AV industry. So if you're having CAD drawings done, you don't have to re-explain, here's the process and what we're doing. So I think it is a unique solution that not just Atlantis Partners, but the whole ITS program brings to the market, which I think is something I hadn't known about, and it's definitely going to be a change for me to think about now.
Yeah. It's interesting how it came to be too. All of our companies started organically. Somebody that we met, some integrator we were doing something with, that I could really use some help on a project next month, and you bring 4 or 5 techs along, and that's how we all got started. And we're all still relatively small compared to larger organizations like the manufacturers in the industry, but we provide and fulfill an important role.
Well, appreciate you spending some of the time today, stopping by. To our audience at home, go check out AtlantisPartners.com, as well as going and checking the Avixa site for the updates. I'm Bradford Ben. Unfortunately, you're not. But thank you for spending time with us. We'll be back to once again talk more about what's happening at InfoComm this year.